Get started with South Carolina. We're joined by running back Kenny Miles, offensive line coach Sean Elliott, defensive coordinator Lorenzo Ward, and defensive end Melvin Ingram. If the coordinators could just start us off with a brief opening statement on your week in Orlando so far.
Well, first of all, we'd like to thank the Florida Citrus Bowl Committee for having us down here in Orlando. It's been a great week. I tell you, the weather, the hospitality, everything we've done here. We've come down here for a purpose to win a football game, but we've had a little excitement in between practices. But we've worked hard, and I really want to thank everyone involved with this great organization, great bowl game, and we really appreciate everything.
Again, to reiterate what Coach Elliott said, Florida Citrus Sports, we want to thank you for the first-class organization that you put together and shown the University of South Carolina. We're very excited to be playing in this bowl game. You know, we know that the Capital One Bowl is one of the best bowls outside the BCS, and we just really appreciate all the hospitality that you've shown us and the players, and we're very excited about this game being played in the next couple of days.
Thank you, coaches, and we'll go ahead and open it up to Q&A.
Yeah, Melvin, just looking at this game and the season that you've had, how have you approached this bowl preparation week? I mean, especially with as good of a year as you've had, is it just like one more chance to go out and just really lay it on all the line?
Yeah, I approach this week the same way week as every week. We just trying to build a winning tradition, so this is just another stepping stone for our program. We're trying to build a good tradition here, so we try to go out and work hard as we've done every week and try to get a better win.
Lorenzo, can you kind of fill us in a little bit about how you got your nickname, what motivated you to get into coaching, that kind of thing?
Well, I'll tell you about what motivated me to get into coaching. My high school head coach was very instrumental in my life, and you know, I had two older brothers, and they both played ball, and so he got me involved in playing sports. And you know, the thing that you miss when you can't play the sport anymore is, you know, what are you going to do to fill that void? And to me, coaching is to fill that void. So if you can't play it, the next best thing is coaching it. So that's the reason I was blessed to take the path of getting into coaching, and I was fortunate enough to go to school and play in Alabama, and then after playing there, you know, brief stint of trying to play in the NFL, and got back into coaching and became a graduate assistant. And you know, since then, the good Lord has blessed me to be where I am today, being named defensive coordinator at the University of South Carolina. As far as the nicknames, I think I read where Cecil Hunt in Tuscaloosa, you know, Cecil probably has the true story. There was a game show back when I was in college in the early mid-'80s, and it was Big Bucks, No Whammy, and my roommate actually started calling me Whammy. But the name actually really took off. I pride myself on making contact, and I love to hit. And I made a big hit in practice one day, and Coach Curry, Bill Curry, said, "Well, you whammed that guy." So then everybody started calling me Whammy.
Kenny, what has your journey been like at South Carolina with the ups and downs, and what does it mean to you starting this bowl game?
It's been long, but at the same time, it's been a blessing, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I'm excited to play, and I can't wait to do what I can do to help my team win.
Sean and Lorenzo, both of you being down a man, coaching-wise, have there been any challenges administratively, and do you foresee any on game day dealing with that?
Well, offensively, of course, you got to make some adjustments, but you know, as far as the running game and the protections and things like that, you know, I've kind of taken over the role with the backs a little bit, somewhat in that aspect. But we've got some quality GAs. Tommy Gall has helped out a lot, stepping in there and helping us. We don't feel like we're going to miss a beat. We should be right on target.
Well, defensively, I think the biggest loss that we'll feel is on game day, because I'm the guy that likes to be on the field, and you know, being a coach short, that Coach Johnson's not here anymore, I'm actually going in the booth, so I want to have that opportunity to look the young men in the eyes and really see how they're feeling in the ball game. I think you can look, you know, your players in the eye and really feel and see if they're involved, or you know, how they're excited about being out there playing. So you know, but we won't let it affect us. Coach Hunter will go down on the field, and you know, we'll still have the same guys that are been out there making adjustments. other than myself being down there. But we've done a good job in practice. Wayman Jackson's done a great job of coaching the linebackers. We've met, both as a group and individual with the linebackers. So we feel good about the preparation we had so far.
Lorenzo, again, who have been your biggest influences in coaching? And it looks like in 2007, did you get out of coaching, and what did you do that year?
I don't think any coach ever get out intentionally, but 2007, 2006, I was coaching at the Oakland Raiders, and we had a 2-year contract, and we got let go. So I decided to spend that time with my son, probably the best year of my life I've had so far. The year that I got set out with pay, which is, you got to get out of the job, you won't win with pay. So, but the coaches that have influenced my life, goes back again to my high school coach, and then on to college. Really learned a lot from Bill Oliver, who was my secondary coach, and one of the great coordinators to coach in this league in the SEC. And from there to learning from Bud Foster at Virginia Tech for 7 years, and Buddy Green, who's been a defensive coordinator for a long time, been at NC State, now he's at Navy. Worked for him for 5 years in Chattanooga. So Frank Beamer, of course, defensive-minded guy. Majority of the guys I worked for in my coaching career has been DB coaches, and before they became head coaches or coordinators. And other than Coach Shell, who was again coaching in the pros, and then Coach Petrino the year I spent in Arkansas. But I had a lot of guys that played the position that I played and coached, and so you learn a lot of knowledge from those guys.
Hey Lorenzo, you talked a little bit about your time at Virginia Tech. I know that Virginia Tech over the years has had a lot of success against mobile quarterbacks, and Preston's got one of them. What did you learn from Bud Foster and Frank Beamer about slowing down mobile quarterbacks, and how do you apply some of that on Monday against a guy like Taylor?
Well, again, we were fortunate enough at Virginia Tech to play against one every day, and of course he's playing on Sunday now, Michael Vick, and if you can play against that speed, it helps you when you face it as an opponent of it, and that's what we try to do a good job of this week is use some of the guys that could really make us miss in open field, because that's what we're going to get from Nebraska quarterback. He's a young man that's tough. He loves to run the football. They don't actually throw it a lot, but we know he's going to carry the football, and we have to just go out as a defense and understand that we got to if we don't stop the quarterback, we're not going to win the ball game.
Who did you use to emulate Martinez this week?
Well, several people. We used Ace and some of the team peers together, and and Tanner McAvoy has done a good job of showing. But we try to use the speed when we're going to get on the edge for the option and stuff.
When you were at Virginia Tech, you guys were one of the few people that slowed down Russell Wilson. Like, in other words, there was like a template. You guys actually shut him down 2 or 3 times. You remember what you guys did in those games?
Well, again, we you don't really change your scheme, but you just got to be a sound when you play against a quarterback and run. Anytime that your quarterback is a guy that can carry the football, then you add an extra dimension to your offense, and so you got to dedicate another man to stopping the run. So we just got to do a good job in the perimeter, and we got to make sure we don't take bad angles, and then we got to tackle them when we get there.
Sean Connor Shaw referred to you earlier this week as the master of the zone read. When did you come across the offense, and how good do you feel running it? I mean, what made you think this is going to work? This is something I want to get to study.
Well, in 2004, while at Appalachian State, we went through kind of a down year. I think we were 7-4, something like that, and we just needed a little spark in our offense up there. So we decided we'd go to West Virginia and watch practice for a few days, talk with Coach Rodriguez and the staff, and implement a new running style, a new running game. Adding the quarterback run to any offense is something that I think is hard to defend. It's a numbers game. If you talk to anyone out there, 11 on 11 is a lot better than 10 on 11. So we wanted to run the quarterback more, and we knew we had special athletes there, so we said we're going to make some things happen with this guy we had. We had an unbelievable quarterback in Richie Williams, South Carolina guy out there at App, and then went to another quarterback named Armani Edwards. So we wanted the ball in their hands as much as possible. So, you know, once we installed it one spring, I think we put up over about 600 yards of offense in a spring scrimmage against our defense that we very rarely had any success moving the football against. And we said, we're on to something here. Now, we don't do everything here at South Carolina like we did at Appalachian State, but we implement the same running style and running quarterback a little bit more than what we have in the past here at Carolina. But, you know, it all stems from West Virginia. We really didn't take the concept of their running game or their offensive scheme. We took their style of play, their tempo, their lineman mentality, their running back mentality, their quarterback run mentality, and kind of implemented our own scheme, and it's just grown from there.